What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's the one and only Teresa. Or in English, Teresa.
Or in Czech, Teresa.
Or in Czech, Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
I am fired up. Maybe this was my favorite episode of the season so far.
It was really good.
It was really good.
Say my name again in Czech.
Teresa.
Yes.
I rolled it.
Oh, I know.
I chipped a tooth on that
Do it
roll.
again, do
like
it again.
Tara. Teresa.
Nice.
Teresa.
Teresa.
I mean, I needed to make a clear differentiation between Guillermo or in English, Guillermo.
Yes, I got that. I like it.
Good.
You should probably call me Teresa all the time.
Me? Did you like?
Yeah.
No. I think I'll get tonsillitis if I keep that up. That was out of control. But what's up, guys? Here we are to talk about 90 Day Fiancé Season 9, Episode 15. As I said before, I loved this episode.
It was a great episode.
And here's what happened, full disclosure. If you guys listened to the Married at First Sight pod, you knew we were in Boston. We were flying back last night. And so we had a little delay, a little airline delay, as people tend to do these days.
Classic.
And it worked out nicely because we were able to watch 90 Day on the plane.
Yes, that's so true.
Shout out to JetBlue with those nice DirecTV headrests. But so we watched it and we were so exhausted. We had a wild weekend. It was 95 degrees in Boston, wearing a suit, right? We were tired. And so we thought, should we take notes? Should we watch and take notes? Should we just watch? Should we just sleep? And we said, let's just watch it. Let's not take notes, but let's just watch it. And it was the first time we watched the first time around without taking notes. A lot of times we'll watch it, take notes, then watch again and not take notes.
Yeah.
But this was the first time we watched it the first time without taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed being able to watch it and just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why I enjoyed this episode so much. But I think even the second time, because we just watched it again and took notes, still holds up.
Oh, yeah.
A lot happened.
I loved it. And I'm actually glad we didn't take the notes on the plane because every single time there was an announcement,
yep.
they pause it. So,
Folks from the flight deck, hope you're not watching 90 Day Fiancé because we're going to have a couple interruptions here.
yeah. So we would be basically,
We'd have to watch it and take notes
I've had to
twice.
watch it again. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So this is not really related, slightly related. There was a Delta flight yesterday going from JFK to Czech, right?
Oh boy.
International travel. 2 hours in, as they were kind of approaching Greenland,
Oh boy.
something happened and they had to spin it around and go back to JFK.
What happened?
Something with the hydraulics.
Oh.
But isn't it crazy? Like, you're basically above the Atlantic Ocean in the middle of nowhere. There's nowhere for you to land. You have to spin it around.
I wish you didn't tell me this.
Why?
Because we have to fly again in a week and...
Well, yeah, but flying above America, there are other airports you can land.
Yeah.
Potentially,
That was the
right?
closest one? There's no
Yeah.
airports in Greenland? There's got to be
No.
an airport in Greenland. I guess no Iceland, but not Greenland.
But I think, I guess then flying back to JFK is easier than trying to land in Boston or so because it's so close.
Yeah.
I guess they knew that they'll make it, but they didn't think they would make it across the ocean.
Anyway, we're here to talk about positive things, like this episode of 90 Day Fiancé.
It was positive.
Yeah, all's well that ends well. All's
They
well that
turned it
ends
around.
well. Anyways, what's up? We're here to talk about, like I said, episode 15. Before we do, a little housekeeping here. If you want to follow us on Instagram, on social media, you should do it. You should do it at Married to Reality Pod on Instagram, on Facebook. Just search Married to Reality. Everything's happening on the socials. We keep you updated. We post our news. We do memes. You message us. It's a beautiful thing. So follow us on Instagram, especially at Married to Reality Pod.
Yes. We love it. We love chatting with you guys. We love hearing from you. Please keep it up.
Yeah, and speaking about chatting with you guys, you're chatting with us on the Patreon, and we love that.
Oh my gosh.
So check out the Patreon if you haven't.
Full disclosure, since I am the social media manager, president on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
John's kind of presidenting the Patreon.
I showed you how to do it.
Oh, I know, but I'm kind of letting you take the lead so you also chat with our friends.
Yeah.
I also look.
Yes.
So I know what's up.
Good.
But guys, if you're chatting with us on Patreon, that's most likely John.
Yeah. And here's the double dutch I'm trying to figure out on Patreon is you guys are like we'll post an episode or a video or a photo, a little behind the scenes stuff, and you'll comment on it. And I want to comment because I want to let you guys know I see what's going on and I have thoughts to contribute. But I also want the community to just exist on its own. Like I want our friends to be able to chat back and forth without us moderating.
We can chime in. I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna take over.
And this is why Teresa does it because I overthink too much.
Guys, okay. Forget what I just said. I'm gonna be talking to you on Patreon.
If you're listening to this, Teresa is talking to you now. But yes, it's all happening on Patreon, all the chatting, all the good times. Patreon.com/married to reality. You guys know we're currently covering Seeking Sister Wife at the Cousins Club and Family Affair level. At the highest level, there's video. There's a bonus pod once a month. But the most important thing is once Seeking Sister Wife comes to an end, we're going to have to find another show to cover on Patreon. If you're a Patreon member, no matter what level you're at, Friends with Benefits, Cousins Club, Family Affair, no matter what level, we're going to have a poll. You're going to help us decide. Well, you're not even going to help us. You're going to decide what we're covering next. So get on that Patreon now. Get ready for the poll. And we want to hear what you want us to cover that's going to happen on Patreon.
Absolutely. And just to let you know, I know we've been in and out and our schedule was all over the place because of our travels and weddings and all kinds of things work. But as far as I know, we should be around for the rest of the summer, pretty much.
There might be 1 week in September. It could be Labor Day. It might be Labor Day. So you guys might have some travel things going on too. 1 week in September, there may be a delay, but maybe not. So we might be done with delays for the foreseeable future.
And we are actually going on another vacation with John's family, but we'll bring our podcasting stuff because it's more of a relaxed vacation where we're just going to hang out and enjoy the calm.
And we'll be in the same time zone. The European was difficult because of the time zone. And of course, we hadn't seen your family in 3 years. So we wanted to spend my family. We see them all the time. Sorry, Rach. But maybe my sister will sit in on the podcast with us for a second or two and say hello.
But we talked about it, so we'll manage to do it. So we should be all caught up this week, guys. Don't be mad. We're back.
Yes. So that's patreon.com/married to reality. That's the scheduling. Make sure you're following us wherever you're listening to the podcast right now. So no matter when we drop an episode, you'll get it. All you have to do is look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as Cara's love for Guillermo.
Ooh.
Because I honestly...
As her love for who?
Guillermo.
Hold on. Sounds like am I starting a lawnmower? Guillermo.
It's the language. Come on.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
Why can't I do it?
You do it.
Am I culturally appropriating if I do that? No, I'm going to say the name however you want me to say the name.
I love it. Sure. Go for it.
It hurts to do.
I'm giving you a day. Then you're going to go back to tea.
Oh, yeah, it's way too hard.
I honestly, I will talk about it, but I love Cara and Guillermo. And I have to say, I was thinking back in all this 90 days recent that we've watched, and are they the only normal couple that actually truly have love for each other? Like, I love the way she loves him. Like, I love it. She's wild.
Yeah.
But she owns up to all her shit. And she just loves him. And the fact that she... No, but listen. The fact that she's the bride, right? She walks down the aisle and she says, oh my God, he's beautiful. That this is all I ever wanted.
That's all she said about him. She goes, oh, he looks amazing. Oh, he's so beautiful. Those are two physical attributes.
Then she said, he's everything I ever wanted.
Yeah.
Come on.
I still think the love story of the season is even Mohamed, but you can tell me I'm crazy. Save it.
You're crazy.
Save it.
Okay.
Okay. Smash it like it's as hot as those two hotties in love with each other. And one last thing, if you haven't left a review, if you could do that, we love when you guys do that. And we read the 5-star reviews on this podcast right now. We read them. I'm going to read them. I'm going to read one right now.
Do it.
We got a new one. Comes to us from our friend Nurse Deezy.
Hello, Nurse Deezy.
Nurse. They write, love them. New listener, hooked.
Love it, love
5
it, love
stars.
it. Love it.
Nurse Deezy writes, I found this couple when they were guests on the Reality Gaze podcast.
Shout out to the
friends.
Reality Gaze. They're awesome.
Decided to give them a try, and I'm hooked. John has a very soothing voice. Oh, hello. It's a little tired right now because I was going wild at that wedding.
With the Guillermo. Oh, the wedding.
Well, that could be too. It's a little tired. I hope it's still soothing. Teresa is great. I love her observations, and she really brings it.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you.
I feel they're genuine and honest and share a lot of comments that align with my thoughts. I'm a new fan. I'm excited to listen to more episodes. It's hard to find a Mavs podcast that I like. I also watch 90 Day and Below Deck, not the sailing one, though. I think Married to Reality should do episodes on Selling Sunset on Netflix. Well, as we just said on the Patreon, get on that Patreon.
Yeah.
We're going to throw up some shows that we might cover, and you're going to vote. So
yeah,
I don't know if the Selling Sunset will be one of them, but get on there and you can vote. New listener, ready to binge. I'm here to stay 5 stars.
I love this. What a great, genuine review.
You know where Dee's from?
Where?
Because she included it. San Diego.
Stop it.
Shout out to San Diego. Shout out to Maths 15.
Can you please send me some seal photos? Like real seal photos?
The real deal seal?
The real deal seal. I'm obsessed with seals. You guys know that. Our listeners know my obsession with seals. And San Diego has so many of them. It's just beautiful.
Love it.
I should just live with the seals. And you.
And one big happy family. Thank you, Nurse Deezy. Thank you, Dee.
Thank you so much. It was awesome.
All right. How about a little 90 Day, by the way, before we get into this episode?
Yes.
Okay. Number 1. For someone who continually claimed she wasn't looking for fame or for 90 Day clout, she keeps appearing back in the news for 90 Day related things. Okay?
Okay.
So...
Can I guess or what?
You won't guess, I don't think. Give me one name.
I don't know.
Excuse you. This isn't the person, but it's all related. Stepanka, okay? We know Stepanka.
Oh.
There's not, but of fart jar fame, right? Mm-hmm. She had another entrepreneurial idea. She auctioned off 60 minutes to the highest bidder, a 60-minute date with the highest bidder.
An actual date?
A virtual date.
Yeah, I saw something on social media when she was posting about it. I didn't go deep on it, though. Like
so you didn't see who won?
No, I did not.
And this is the person I'm saying said they didn't want any 90-day fame, but this person bid.
Ooh, can I guess?
You didn't have a great guess the first time, but go for it.
I said...
Okay.
That's
is that
great.
A fart in a jar?
No, that's thinking.
Oh, okay.
How do you think? Okay.
That's me thinking it sounds. Makes for great podcast.
This is how I think.
Okay, who?
Okay. Michael from Connecticut.
No. That would have been more interesting. I'm going to just tell you.
Okay, one more. Andrew.
From Amira and Andrew?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'll give up.
The highest bidder, $2,700. Drum roll, please. Nice. Okay. Stephanie and Ryan of Ladyville, Belize. That's
What?
Stephanie.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So she paid $2,700. She won this date to talk to Stepanka. She says to talk marketing ideas.
All right.
Let me save you $2,700, Stephanie. Fart in jars. There's your there's your marketing idea.
Yeah, what's up with her? I feel like she's been pretty quiet lately.
Yeah, and the funniest part of the whole thing to me, she isn't big enough, doesn't have enough clout to just DM Stepanka and be like, hey, 90 Day to 90 Day or Stephanie to Stephanie.
I'm sure she could.
Can we talk?
But
she paid $2,700.
She probably knew she's going to make some headlines by doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about exposure.
Yeah.
Think, Jonathan.
Well,
think.
We're giving it to her. Stepanka, Stephanie. Let's get a follow-up on this date. Let's see how it went. Let's hear how it went.
Yes.
Okay, that's number 1. Number 2?
2? Mm-hmm.
We've seen a lot of questionable characters on 90 Day Fiancé.
That's for sure.
We have another. He may take the cake. You may have heard this. You may have seen the headlines. I'm not sure. Do you remember a Michael Baltimore who was featured on Jay and Ashley's segments He was one of the barbers
Yes.
who Jay worked for.
Yes.
He's now on America's Most Wanted list
What?
for a host of crimes, one being murder.
What?
You want to know who he murdered?
Who?
I hope he doesn't listen to this. I honestly thought about not including this because I don't want to draw attention to us and then he comes after us. But every newspaper has written about this, TMZ, people,
Okay.
everyone's. So I don't think he's going to be bothered.
Who did he murder? Jay?
Nope. The owner of the barbershop who was also on the show.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
I guess the owner isn't wanted anymore.
Why would the owner be wanted?
What if he's dead?
No. The killer is wanted, not the
wait.
not the
So there
victim.
were two guys.
Remember the two guys that ran the barbershop and Jay worked for them?
Oh, gee.
One of them killed the other one.
Is Jay the one? Oh no. Is the one that's wanted the one who dated Ashley afterwards?
I don't
There
know.
were some rumors. I don't know if they actually dated.
I don't know, but that's the story. And apparently he's on the run. Pennsylvania authorities are looking for him.
Oh, jeez. Stay up north.
Yeah, stay up there. Yeah, and we thought the bathroom BJ was the worst thing that happened at that barbershop.
Oh, wow. Wait. How did it get out? Like, he wasn't...
What are you talking about? How did a murder get out?
No. How did it become so... I don't want to say popular because that's the wrong word, but how did TMZ and other news outlets find out about it? He was an extra, if I have to say it, on a 90-Day Fiancé show, right?
Yeah.
He's not like, oh, he's Leonardo DiCaprio and he murdered someone. It's like big thing.
I don't know, but it's a big story now.
I didn't see this anywhere.
Big story. You heard it here first then.
I did.
Yeah.
I was just on our Instagram just browsing and looking at
yeah?
shit and I didn't see anything.
There it is. It happened a few days ago.
I feel like sometimes because we share the account, like sometimes when you look at things then they disappear and shit and I don't see
That's
it anymore
possible.
when I go out.
You're swearing a lot, just a heads up.
Do I?
You are, currently.
I just said the shit word.
Now, that's the third time you've said it in the last 3 minutes. So just drawing a little attention there to you, Teresa.
gee.
We have children that listen to this podcast.
I hope not.
We
I
definitely...
genuinely hope we do not have kids listen to us.
You know my sister listens to it with the children in the car.
Okay, if you're 3,
Okay.
I think you're fine.
okay.
I think you're
Oh,
fine.
you heard it here first. All right, that's enough 90 Day, by the way. Let's get into this.
love it.
Let's get into... Well, we don't love the murders,
Well,
but
we don't love that, but
we enjoy talking about
I love the by the way.
90 Day news. Yes. All right. Sunday night, 90 Day Fiancé, Season 9, Episode 15. We are screeching to a halt towards the end of the season. We are coming. But this, I'm telling you, this is going to be a big finish, I think, because this episode was great. I think the next looking pretty good. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited. Let's talk about this one. Let's start with the couple lovebirds.
All right.
Want to start with Kara and Guillermo?
Let's do that.
It's wedding day. Kara's getting all done up, and I need everyone to call in. I need to hear from all of you. Sound off. How are we feeling about Kara's Betty Boop hairdo?
Okay. I have the answer for you, how I feel.
You have your answer, yeah.
Yes.
Throw it on.
First,
Ring, ring. Teresa's calling in with her answer.
I'm calling in. So, when I saw it on the previews last week, I was like, oh my gosh, what has she done to herself, right?
Yeah.
But watching her today from all the angles, and then she put a dress on, I thought it was great. I actually liked it.
Ooh. Okay.
Because it was a vibe. Like, it was,
Totally.
she looked great. Like, honestly, when I just saw in the previews the hair from this one bad angle, I was like, oh my God, bad. But no, I totally changed my mind. I loved it. What I did not love was Guillermo's suit.
Okay.
What color was that?
Okay. All right. Let's stay on topic here. We're talking about the hair.
Okay.
I have many thoughts. And I know
right.
it's not my place to have thoughts about someone else's hair, but
Oh, you can't. Go
we
for
have
it.
a podcast. Let me share my thoughts. 1, context is everything, I think.
Okay.
And so I do think she looked good. I thought the hair looked
Yeah.
good. I thought it was a little out of place for a German beer hall wedding.
I thought it was fine.
Okay, I'm sharing my you
Okay.
shared your thoughts. You called in. I hung up on you. Now I'm
Guys, you
calling
should
in.
see John's face. He's like looking at me like, I'm sharing
my turn
thoughts now.
So that's thought one. Thought two, and this is a general broad strokes thought. I may have shared it before. And again, I know it's not my place to comment on whatever someone else wants to do.
Go for it.
But for weddings or other events, we fall in love. I fell in love with you, Teresa, for your everyday look. Consider me Mitch on maps, right? I love a sweatpants. I love a t-shirt. That's what we get day in, day out. I love you for that.
Sometimes you say I look like a child.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that, but
It's usually when I wear my seal pajamas, guys.
but
being honest.
you know what I'm saying is I love your day-to-day look. That's why I fell in love with that. It's what puts a smile on my face every day. So then a wedding look, you're going to completely change, and I'm speaking about Karen now. You're going to completely change how you look? Well, show me the look I fell in love with.
But she didn't. She still had her classic makeup pretty much. The lipstick that she wears. I think the dress was very her. And I can see her. She sometimes curls her hair. So I don't think it was that out of place. I thought it was actually pretty good.
It'd be the equivalent if I shaved my head the morning of the wedding. Like, I can't do too much drastically with my hair. But the difference between her normal hair and the hair she wore to the wedding would be if I shaved my head the morning of the wedding.
I hear you. I honestly was thinking about after our wedding that I probably should have kept my hair just straight because that's my look. And I had wavy hair from our wedding. It looked great for the first 2-3 hours, and then it just, the
Your
waves.
hair was not as extremely different.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
As
but
Kara's.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But I was thinking that maybe I should have gone with my typical look. But every girl wants to do something slightly different for the wedding.
Slightly different is good. And again, I thought she looked good. I'm just saying, I always find it interesting when someone drastically changes their look when you're trying to represent yourself as the person who is getting married to the other person they love, and let's show what we love about each other.
All right, back to me. Agree to disagree.
Okay.
I think if her makeup was out of control, that would be like, whoa, Zal, like what are you trying to do? She looked very natural, even with whatever makeup she had.
Okay.
That was her. That was her lipstick. That was her makeup.
Yeah.
The hair was fine.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't bother me that you do something wild with your hair. Like in Czech, when we do proms and shit, girls go nuts with their hair.
That's prom.
Yeah, but you do something different because it's an event, right?
Okay.
Wedding is an event. Why not? I would actually, again, if girl does way too much makeup, it's way different, that she looks different.
Yes.
Then it's like, all right, well, that's not really you. But the hair, I'm all for it.
Okay. Call in. I have a feeling I'm going to regret asking you guys to call in because I'm sure everyone's going to side with
I'm all
Teresa.
for it. I love it.
But okay. And I'm not saying she looked bad. I actually thought she looked good.
No,
I'm
but
just
it's
saying
good.
I don't know why people want to look different on their wedding day. Look like the person I proposed
Because
to.
girls, no. Again, okay. When you proposed to me, I was eating
Don't
beef
look
jerky.
like that. Yes,
I
in
was
your
eating
seal
beef jerky.
pajamas.
I was not in my silk pajamas, but I was dirty because we were moving.
Okay.
And as much as I loved the whole moment and everything, you would not want me to walk down the aisle like that.
All right, let's talk slightly about the venue then, because Kara found a German beer hall to get married, and it was a little last minute, so she had to do what she could do. Let's recap all of their shooting locations from this season.
Beer,
A brewery times 2, a winery, and now a beer hall. Woo girl's gonna woo.
Listen,
you
they
gotta
love
do what
to
you gotta
drink.
do.
What I loved about this, okay, I didn't mind it. I thought, I loved that she actually was like, you know what, Guillermo wants a little bit bigger wedding. We are still on a budget and we have a really tight timeline, but let's do something bigger than a town hall, right?
Sure.
I loved it. And what I loved and I thought it was really cool was when people were sitting down waiting for them to go down the aisle, everyone was drinking a craft beer.
Craft brew in the
And I'm
pew.
like, can I go to a wedding like this?
Yeah.
So I honestly thought it was cool.
You know who else was drinking beers though?
Who?
People at the bar. Did you see when Kara was walking in? There was
Yeah.
people sitting at the bar. And I was like, a couple of randos hanging around your ceremony.
Okay.
Not the
if
best.
you're trying to save money, you're not gonna buy at a brewery. You rent the event room,
Yeah.
and many times you see it all over the place. Like people rent a place or some space.
Yeah.
And there might be a restaurant downstairs or restaurants in the front. Like
I
some
guess
people
it's
cannot
just
buy out the whole place.
the crowd that was at the brewery or the crowd that is at a brewery usually doesn't fit in as well with a wedding crowd, because I will say this was one of the best dressed wedding parties. Everyone in the crowd was wearing either
That's
a
true.
suit, right? You look at the bar, guys in t-shirts with hats on, and I was like,
It didn't bother me. Honestly, if you have an event space, you might expect there might be some events, right?
Yes.
Any events. So if they're having a wedding, they're drinking beer, eating sliders, like I'm all for it. I'm here for it.
okay,
Can I get invited to a wedding like this, please?
you drink enough. Let's talk about Guillermo. He was getting ready by himself, and this was the first super emotional moment for me.
He was not.
What do you mean?
He was not getting ready by himself
Who is he with?
with Chicky.
Oh my gosh. So he was getting ready by himself. I think, okay, Teresa said there was a rodent that ran by or something, but he was more or less, he was by himself.
Oh my gosh. People are going to give you so much shit.
It was a small dog, right?
It's a small dog, yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm not a
You
fan.
just called him a rodent.
I'll take a stand. I am more of a cat person than I am a small dog person.
Take it back.
Love big dogs, cats, I'm cool with. Small dogs, not the hugest fan. I love all animals. I'm just saying if I had to rank, they would be towards the bottom. Still love them, still boop them.
Depends what kind of a cat.
So he's
Okay.
by himself, getting ready, but he goes, I wish my family could be here.
Of course.
Being here, getting ready, really makes me miss Jose Joaquin. And I always pictured him being by my side when I got married.
And he could probably stop him from wearing those red suspenders, by the way.
See, I didn't think it looked that bad. I mean, not my style, but I didn't think it looked that bad.
It don't look bad.
It made him look like a child. Like he looked like a child.
Oh, he did. I
He
know.
looked so young.
I wish he was wearing either like light blue suit, dark blue suit, like one color suit. This was like this, like bluish, grayish.
See, I'm gonna get so much. I'm gonna get so much shit because of my comments on Kara's here, and you're complaining about the shade of blue of Guillermo's suit.
Listen, we're podcasters, or we're trying to be. So,
Not after this episode.
I'm sharing my opinion. You're sharing yours, and this is what it's all about.
Yeah. Okay. So then Guillermo's finished, and when you were saying he wasn't alone, I thought you were going to say because he had his laptop, because you see him walk to his car and he's carrying this laptop, and I'm like, oh my God, he got his laptop that he's been wanting since episode 1, and now he carries it everywhere because he loves it so much. I think it was Kara's laptop that he was bringing to Skype his family in on. But
And
at first I
why
was like,
not?
oh
They're
my God, he got his
trying to-
laptop. I was so excited
Well,
for him.
I was more like, oh my gosh, did he buy a car?
Well, he can drive, which is good to see. He must have got his international driver's license,
Well,
right?
that's easy. My parents can come here and drive.
Oh, they don't need a special license. Huh.
An international license
it-
that you get in Czech or whatever,
Yeah.
it takes about, like you just walk somewhere and say,
Yeah.
hey, I need this paper in English. All good.
So Kara must have done that for him. Mother
She must
Kara.
have.
Yeah.
Well, he must have gotten it in the Dominican Republic. Yeah.
Probably when he went back for his brother's funeral.
Maybe.
Right?
Which
No
is
one.
sad.
Yeah, no one's commented on that.
Yeah.
Wonder what's going on.
Yeah, who knows?
Speaking of his brother, Guillermo gets to the venue, and the other super emotional part for me, there was an empty seat left for Jose Joaquin, and Guillermo put flowers there.
I loved it. That was beautiful.
It was
Beautiful.
literally beautiful. I liked the tribute. It was really nice. And that was my comments for the venue. It was beautiful. Kara makes her entrance. They read their vows.
Very emotional.
Guillermo, or in English, Guillermo. Blah, 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 right? Guillermo reads his vows. The poor guy messes up one word, and Kara calls him out.
Oh, stop it. You would call me out too. You would be like,
During your vows? I
Yeah,
would not.
but she
Teresa,
said,
you messed up. I'm sure you messed up a word or two.
you close your mouth over there.
I'm sure you did.
I
but
did not.
not as bad as a chive,
One
but
person cried during my vows.
because you were butchering the English language. It was me.
No. Okay, 2 people cried. No, that's not true. I'm pretty sure if I said something that was ridiculous, you would have a fun with it. You would be
Not
like,
a chance. Not a chance.
Really?
It is so tactless. The guy.
I didn't mind it.
Oh,
She said it with love. If she was
no,
like,
she was like, achieved.
No.
And then she laughed it off because she realized she looked like a huge biatch. It was so distasteful. I thought
Really?
my note to Guillermo would be, because I wrapped up my vows with a line of Czech, but
You did.
I wrote it out the way it sounds, because I knew if I just wrote it in Czech, I would butcher it. So I spelled it out how it sounds.
Remind me what
I
it
forget
was?
what I said. I probably just said, like, I love you so much or something. But in Czech, I thought it'd be a nice touch.
I know you did.
But he should have just wrote it out the way Achieve sounds. So to avoid that.
But his English is really good, so it's okay. Honestly, I didn't mind that she corrected him because I think it was with love.
Why are we disagreeing so much on this episode, Teresa?
I don't know, but I'm sure our friends are going to love it.
Okay. The only other comment I had about this segment was, did you see they got to the cake cutting? Mm-hmm. The family Guillermo, was still on the laptop. It was still Skyping.
I love it.
And I was like, at what point are you like, all right, signing off. Like, I got to go to my next meeting. They're going to be there just watching them dance.
Yeah.
The whole night just on
Why
Skype.
not?
At some point, I'm like, all right, enough's enough.
Like, they cannot be there in person, so this is the way to join the party.
All right.
They should have had a party, but well, there were several people joining, but I hope they're like partying
At home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have all got together, unless they're super far away. I guess that's
I'm sure there's some in
like a viewing.
VR,
They should have had a
in
viewing.
Venezuela.
They should have had a viewing party for the wedding.
My parents had a viewing party when I graduated college.
Just the two of your parents.
And grandma and babička.
That's nice. All right. That's Karen and Guillermo. Congrats to the newlyweds.
Congrats. It was the first wedding of the season.
That's true. Yeah, nice. All right, let's talk about Emily and Kilby.
All right. Before we start talking about temperature,
Yes.
I just got this feeling that some of the things they were doing or saying were scripted. Not scripted.
Yeah.
Not even like, I don't think they're...
Producer-driven.
Yes, or maybe they discussed it together and they'd be like, oh, let's do that to like spice it up. But then it's really bad. They're not actors and actresses, right?
Yeah.
So you can kind of see when they're this is what gave it off away for me. They're like kind of arguing and they're both like having a smirk on their face. I'm like, if you're mad at each other, you're not going to have a smirk on your face.
Oh, I don't know. That doesn't bother me because I think if it was producer driven and they were smiling, they would say, cut, let's take it again. They would say, let's get a real take. If the producers are that involved, they would say, cut, let's do it again. The smile to me doesn't bother. I mean, some people, when they're uncomfortable, they laugh. So
true.
That to me, that doesn't bother me. The thing that got me was Emily really had to dig to get into that iPad. She had to like turn it on, enter a passcode, and then she's like, oh, it just happened to see. It's like, no, I mean, either you were digging for it or the producer's like, go on his iPad.
Also, Also, like, this is going to sound silly, but I have my own iPad, right? You're free to take it whenever, but you're not going to just go and take my iPad and see my research history, right? Like, you could.
That's what I'm saying.
You could, but...
I mean, Emily does seem like someone who would dig.
True.
So, I don't know. Let's get there. Before we do, it's temperature being shown around Emily's house. She wants to show temperature where she and Kobe live, and temperature and Kobe looking like ketchup and mustard. I don't know if you picked up on that, but I was like, you guys doing like a couple's costume? What's going on here?
But temperature needs to cool down.
Hey.
He needs to butt out of the relationship. Like, for real. And also, dude, Columbus, Ohio.
I think he got his stats mixed up because he tells Kobe, oh, there are millions of Cameroonians. There are millions of Africans in Columbus. There's not a million people in Columbus. I know. There's like 800,000.
Okay, Columbus is very cold. Kobe's complaining about Kansas being cold. Columbus is in Ohio, bitches.
A little more north.
Yes, but okay. I don't shit on Columbus.
Never been.
Never been either. I mean, Columbus, go Columbus.
I actually heard it's kind of a cool city.
I did too.
Yeah.
You know who lives in Columbus?
Not Christopher.
One of our favorite bands.
Oh, 21 Pilots. Mm-hmm. No, I heard
they're from Columbus.
I heard from a comedian who was touring out there. They were like, Columbus is like actually a pretty cool city.
Yeah, I'm down to visit, but usually you don't hear people to be like, oh my God, you gotta move to Columbus. You're like, oh my God, you gotta move to Miami. You gotta move to LA.
Temperature
you gotta
is
move to
saying
New
it,
York.
not because of the city. Temperature is saying it because he's there. Temperature just wants
I
his
know.
buddy to move there. And I get that. And there probably are more opportunities for Kobe in any city versus Salina.
True. But they can move to KC. I mean,
Sure. But again, Temperature's just being a little selfish.
oh,
Hey,
so selfish.
I want my friend to move here.
So selfish. And honestly, I don't like Temperature. I don't like Emily either. But if there was a person that was like telling us what to do, or telling you
Yeah.
how we should live our life, I would be like,
But
oh,
out
hell
Temperature.
no. Like, get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
we are not on Sister Wife. This is 90-Day Fiancé. Two people. Two
Yeah.
people in the relationship.
The biggest offense Temperature made was spilling the beans that he knew about Emily's pregnancy.
Yeah.
And that's what set her off. And that's what made her go, this is a huge violation of trust. I can't believe Kobe would tell somebody this. This was just supposed to be between us. And now I don't even know if I can marry someone I don't trust.
Yeah. He shouldn't have told him. Especially, let's say forget about the whole, like, Emily doesn't want to tell anyone before the wedding. I get it. But I am a little superstitious, right? I would not tell anyone before like month 5.
Yeah.
I just not even superstitious, but
that's
superstitious.
Kobe.
I would want to make sure that everything's okay before I share the news, because I have a lot of friends who unfortunately experience something not as fortunate when it comes to pregnancies, right? And they
Sure.
shared it very early on, and then things didn't work out, and it was very sad to learn the news after you say, oh my gosh, congratulations, this is amazing. And a month later, you're sending the message saying, I'm so sorry.
Everyone's different. People will share when they feel comfortable sharing.
100%. I'm
It's
talking
Kobe.
about myself.
But it's Kobe who shared. It's not Emily.
Yeah.
So Kobe just
But
kind
he
of let it
shouldn't
slip.
have.
Yeah, it's Kobe.
You know why? Because they both said, let's not do it.
Here's what I thought when she goes, I don't know if I can marry someone I don't trust. We haven't seen any wedding planning from them. We saw ring shopping. That's it. What
We
venue?
want them to go and look at the rocks.
But they didn't look at a venue, did they?
I know, no.
We
It's probably
thought they were
gonna
going-
be
we thought
in the
they were-
backyard with the swell horses.
All right, and nosy. Let's get to that, because new day, 2 days to wed. Kobe's taking care of those swell horses. And Emily, snooping around inside, sees Kobe's iPad, sees he's been looking at apartments in Ohio.
1 bedroom.
1 bedroom? You know we don't share a bedroom. You better be looking at 2 bedrooms minimum. Right? I think that was her biggest offense. Does he think we're going to sleep in the same bedroom?
I think it was more of, all right, we're gonna be a family of 4, unless you're gonna be a family of 1 and leaving
Right.
us behind.
Is Kobe going to leave me behind? Yeah. So she goes out and talks to Kobe about this, and Kobe's basically just like, Temperature sent me a link. I clicked on it, and that's really it. That's
Again, Temperature, 1 bedroom. Jesus.
I mean, he probably sent you send apartments.com, and it's 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. You just happen to be
guess.
on.
Oh, there was one more thing I was gonna mention. I forgot, but I'll mention it now.
Okay.
What I found extremely rude was when Temperature and Kobe spoke French
Oh,
with
yeah.
Emily in the car,
Yeah.
while they both can speak English really well. And I thought it was so disrespectful. Love it or hate Emily, love her or hate her, but that's not what you do. Like, if there is someone else in the car or whatever who don't speak the language and you two do, speak the common language.
Yeah. And I'm not positive, but I feel like it was Temperature who started speaking in French.
Yes,
And
but
Kobe
yeah.
should stop and go, hey,
Yeah.
Emily doesn't speak French. Let's all speak English.
Or reply in English and he'll pick it up. But
Right.
yeah.
No, that's a good point. And we've experienced that multiple times. And you're the first to be like, hey, John doesn't speak Czech.
Yeah, I am.
He
That's
speaks
why.
Czech. He speaks Czech pretty well, but, let's all speak English.
That's why I stopped hanging out with certain Czech people, with some of the people in the community when we lived in New York, because I just found it very disrespectful to you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So the nosy horses, they're back. They're here for the drama too.
Hello, guys.
I loved every time I cut to Kobe. There's just a swell horse.
I loved it. It was my favorite part.
Over his shoulder. They're good looking horses. Those are good looking horses. You may not be able to ride them. You may have to go to the neighbors if you want to ride horse. Because they're very posh. Those are posh horses.
Beautiful.
They were nosy. They wanted to know what was going on. And Emily's like, we're not moving to Ohio. I'm not going to move away from my family. I know it's a valid point and everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I hate the argument of, I don't want to leave my family. When the poor guy left his country, left his family, left everything.
I think what she meant is that we need help from my family because we have one kid, none of us is really working, and we have another one on the way. I think it was poorly phrased.
Well, yeah.
But I get it. Like in that situation when you have you're not financially stable to take care of one kid and you have another one on the way, you should stay as close to the family, like in the basement, as you possibly can.
I don't think it was poorly worded. I don't think she would ever give credit to her family. She would never admit they do everything for me. Because they do. They take care of they take care of the kid. They pay for the roof over their head. But she would never say, oh, my family does everything for us. But
true.
But yeah, she doesn't want to move away from that. And she says, well, we're not going to go to Ohio. We're not going to go anywhere. And Kobe's like, all right, we can talk about this later then. And Emily's like, no, we'll solve it right now. We're not doing it. We're not leaving Salina.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll agree with Kobe when he says, I think I could better provide for this family in a bigger city, which I think is true.
True.
But Emily doesn't see that. Emily doesn't see anything but her family providing for her. She doesn't see her husband maybe having a better opportunity to provide for her.
Yeah, but they should make a compromise. Like maybe, all right, like Ohio or Columbus, Ohio is far, but you can move to KC. It's a bigger city. He'll probably, once he can work, he'll probably find a job there. And they're still going to be within an hour away from her family.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Let's see.
I hope
all these people listen to us because we're giving them these free advices.
I know, but this is after the fact.
True.
So we'll see. We'll see if they make it to the altar. It'd be nice if they rode in on horses, on those swell horses.
But Emily does not know how to do that.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I can only hope.
Right.
All right. We have Bilal and Shaeeda coming up next, but I'm going to have to do some meditating before we get to that segment. So I think let's take a quick break if that's okay with you.
Sure.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Bilal and Shaeeda, Patrick and Thais, Mohamed and Eve. Woo!
Oof.
It's going to get good. All right. We'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I actually made myself a tea, as you can see. I thought my voice, I wanted to give Dee that sweet, soothing voice that she comes to this podcast for. And I thought maybe my voice was getting a little tired, so I whipped up a little throat coat here.
That's the only tea John drinks. I'm that serious, guys. That's his favorite tea.
I just think it's good for the throat.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. I am calm. I have my cup of tea. I did some meditative thinking as I was letting this brew. And
I should have cracked another beer.
See, here's the thing, Teresa. Here's the thing that I tell you every podcast. You need a drink, something neat, a whiskey.
I do sometimes. What are you talking about?
Because you literally crush that beer within the first 3 minutes. Teresa chugs the beer, smashes the can against her forehead, and then it's like, let's do it. And I'm over here usually sipping a whiskey. Now I
do that too. Come on.
I've got a tea.
I just have to be in a mood. I had a headache because it's so freaking hot outside, and my car was like a sauna when I got into that. And just driving around, by the time the AC kicked in, I got a headache.
But I don't understand why you can't sip a beer. You literally chug it. It is done. I hear you put the empty can down before I'm through my first by the way.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't understand why you can't pace yourself. Like, learn to pace yourself. There's a glass of water right next to you. You've taken half a sip out of it. You've taken half a sip out of it. Pace yourself. Stop. What is happening? This is why I cut you off. Now you're making farting noises. Nobody wants to hear this.
I should have gotten another beer. But let's move on. I'm going to drink water.
Yeah.
Right?
I literally came back with my tea, and Teresa looks at me and goes, are you going to drink your whiskey now? Because I knew she was going to ask for my whiskey, like the alcoholic that she is. Please don't spit on the microphone. I just called your bluff right there. I can read you like a book. You can share this with me if you want.
The whiskey?
Yeah.
Good.
You want a sip?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to leave it in the center. It's going to be community whiskey. It's community whiskey.
What whiskey is this? Is it anything good?
This is Jack Daniel's Bonded.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Can I tell you a little story about, and then we'll get into the episode. But
sure.
Let me tell you a little story as you drink Jack Daniel's Bonded. I was driving down to Tampa last week. Not bad, right? Okay.
Not bad, not my fave.
I was driving out to Tampa last week and I stopped at a liquor store. It was a Publix liquor store. And I was browsing. I always like to see if there's anything I haven't had before. And I saw the Jack Daniel's Bonded. Skip ahead 30 seconds if you're not interested. But I pulled the bottle off the shelf. I go to the counter and there's like a kid. He's probably 20, 22 years old. And he takes the bottle and he goes, haven't seen this one before. And I go, me neither. That's why I grabbed it. Thought it looked good. He's ringing me out. And then he looks at me and looks at my shirt and he goes, never seen that shirt before.
What shirt? What are you wearing?
It was my Chantix House t-shirt, the blue one. It's like an antique shop in New England. And he's like, anything on the back's been around. And I spun around and he read it and he goes, yeah, I haven't seen that one before. I'm like,
you spun around?
Yeah, because I was so off put that not only was he asking for me to spin around, but that he was basically using the same line 2 times in a row. Like, never seen that before. Never. Yeah. You think you've seen every t-shirt in the world, sir? What's going on here?
I guess, I don't know.
And no, before you guys call in, I don't think he was hitting on me. I just think that is his opening line. And then he just doubled down on it. And it was very strange. Did
you check your wallet as you were spinning around? Maybe that's what he was trying to do.
I got out of there as quick as I could, but I just thought it was, I've never seen that shirt before. Yeah, you probably haven't seen most shirts before.
That's true. I'm not loving this whiskey, by the way.
Now it's mine. Bilal and Shaeeda. Take us away. Bilal and Shaeeda.
Bilal and Shaeeda. All right. So we're a few days away from the wedding, right?
10 days to wed.
Shaeeda's home, and apparently she asked Bilal if she can have a chat with his mom. Halala, because she wants some advice. She wants to talk to a woman about Bilal, mostly about a prenup, let's just be honest, right? So mom comes over, and I think mom really likes Shaeeda, right? Mom's being very nice.
Yeah, I guess so.
They sit down, they chat, right? And Shaeeda slowly weaves the prenup in, right? And mom is like, are you talking about the prenup? Is it the prenup?
Well, she brings up the business persona that Bilal puts on.
Well, yeah, but mom knows.
Right, and that's when she goes, I don't want to assume anything, but we're talking about the prenup, aren't we?
Yeah.
And she goes, you look at a prenup like you don't trust me, but what does trust even mean? And at that point I go, Halala, I don't think I'm going to like where we're going with this.
It wasn't bad.
Halala was 100% Team Bilal and nothing but Team Bilal.
Yes, but, and again, I don't think Shaeeda should marry Bilal, but somehow mom turned it around for her, and
yes,
I don't know what happened,
but not in the right way.
No,
she was taking all of Shaeeda's power away from her and basically saying, be subservient to Bilal and you'll be happy. Forget happy wife, happy life. Happy Bilal, happy all.
Well, what she was saying, I guess I didn't express myself properly, but yeah, I don't think what she was saying was right. But she basically was telling her, you gotta let him lead, but you can lead from behind sometimes.
Which is what she tells herself in her marriage. No, I'm saying this is what Halala tells herself, and that's how she wakes up every morning and gets through the day. Because yes, it's a religious thing. Halala brings Allah into the conversation and says Allah has put the male as the head of the family. Allah, he leads and we follow, but there are ways to lead from behind. And okay, if that works for you, it works for you. But if it doesn't work for you, well, then don't get it twisted. Find what does work for you. And Shaeeda's just nodding and going, okay, Halala, this is what you're saying. Bilal is saying this. So now I'm outnumbered, so I'm going to go along with it. But I don't think that's what Shaeeda really wants.
Well, let me stop you right here, right? As you said, they are religious, right? Her hearing from the mom is hearing from someone who's been married for years in that religion. Like being submissive is part of the religion.
It is, but as we've said time and time again, people are only as religious as they want to be.
Well, yeah, I think they both are very religious. So as much as you and I don't understand, and you and I are saying, oh my gosh, Shaeeda, girls power, live on your own, like do your own thing, Bilal is out of control, go back to your country. It's part of the religion. And at least it seems like it. Not that I'm an expert, I'm very far from that, but it is part of it. And you're hearing from someone who's been married for years in the same religion, who's a family, I think it somehow made her feel better about this whole situation.
If she's okay with it, because it's not going to be sustainable if she's just going along with it because mom's told her to. Like the wedding we went to this weekend, I was talking to the bride's sister and learned it was a Catholic wedding. It was a church wedding. It was a very religious ceremony. And the bride's sister, who is the maid of honor, is getting married in a couple of months. And I said, oh, are you getting married at this church too? And she said, no, I'm not religious. Actually, the bride's not very religious, but it was important to the groom, so she's going along with it. Great. If that's something you're okay with going along with because that is going to make you happy, because it makes the groom happy, perfect. But if you're just doing it to get through things, path of least resistance, and it's going to come back and bite you because you're not okay with it, then it's not sustainable. And so if Shaeeda's just doing it now to, okay, it's just easier this way, well, then I don't think you're going to have a very happy long-term marriage.
Again, I'm going to throw it back at the religion because they both are very religious. And
but then why was it an issue from day one? She didn't just change her religion. She's been Muslim since they started dating.
Yeah.
So she should have let the man take the lead from day one, but she had issues with it. So
No. She did not have issues with him leading. She had issues with the freaking prenup.
But now she doesn't.
Now she doesn't because mom says, hey, let's lead from behind. Let him take the lead. It's all good. Like, he loves you. I'm not saying it was correct, but I'm telling you that her issues, like, I'm pretty sure if she's this religious, she was brought up like that, that's what she also experienced, right?
So what changed? That's my question.
It's the prenup. If you think back at this whole thing, right? Besides Bilal being an asshole with all his funny jokes, I'm doing the quotation marks, it was the prenup. It's been the prenup. That's the issue, that she doesn't want to have prenup. She wants to have babies with him. She wants to live their religious lifestyle. That she wants to do all that, not the prenup and not the jokes. Those were these two issues.
But that didn't change. The prenup is still there. Mom basically just said, go along with what Bilal wants.
Yeah, and that's on Shaeeda, that she was just like, whoa, all right, I'm going to do that and lead from behind.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, like, the issue, like Bilal being the head of the household, or Bilal, her being submissive to Bilal in a way, or the religion, that's never been the issue. Actually, the religion is the thing they bonded over.
I don't know.
100%.
It is what they bonded over, or it's a big part of the relationship. But let's cut to later that night. Shaeeda's cooking. Bilal's critiquing her cooking, of course, just standing over her shoulder.
I was critiquing her cooking too, so.
But Bilal just standing over her shoulder making rude comments. Come on. I would have turned around, slapped him and gone, then you cook.
I would slap him with the fish.
Then you cook. It was chicken, but.
It was fish.
I thought she said it was chicken.
It was a big fillet.
No. So either way, she's like, I got to talking with your mom. That's why the cooking was delayed. And she goes, I want a relationship where I know when to submit, when to be submissive. I hate the word submissive.
Oh, me too.
First of all, to me, I don't know why the connotation doesn't fly with me. But she's made this turn where she goes, okay, I want a relationship where I know when to submit. So that makes it seem like she's changed her tune after talking to mom. Now she's like, okay, I'll submit.
Again, part of their religion. Our relationship is we are very equal. We are not religious. And we have this very equal relationship, which is fine because it works for us, right?
Yes.
Everyone else has their own thing. And them being religious, again, I think it's part of it. And you and I can disagree or can dislike it.
Yes.
But we cannot change it. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I just am not convinced that submitting is what Shaeeda really wants.
Oh, I think it is. I just think she should be, if she has to submit, and it's part of this whole thing, she should submit to someone who's nice and who cares, who doesn't call a relationship a business.
Right.
So, yes, Bilal's just being an asshole. He thinks he's the funniest asshole, but...
Maybe I'm giving too much credence to the word she uses, but she'll say things like, I'm willing to submit. If you're willing to do something, there's a difference between willing and wanting. And,
now you're too deep.
But I'm just saying, she's not like, yes, I want to submit. I want that. She's going, I'm willing to submit. I'm agreeing to this prenup. And she was so surprised once she gave Bilal everything he wanted. He was like, yeah, great. Okay. And then he was this good guy. It's like, yes, because you gave him everything he wanted. Why is he still going to, he has nothing left to push back on. And now she's surprised. Oh my God, now he's being agreeable. Yes, because you agreed.
But what I was surprised about is that he was willing to put child before 40 into the prenup. How is that going to work? If she's not going to get pregnant before 40, you're going to pay her out?
No, the prenup only comes into play if they divorce. So he knows that you can't contractually obligate someone to have a kid. So it's null and void. There is no way to put a child into a contract.
Oh, they're going to.
No, you can put in.
They love the contract.
You can put in, but what language is it going to say? Oh, this contract is null and void if we don't have a kid? No, he even said some people try to have children. It takes time. Not everyone can. And she's like, no, I know some things are beyond our control. I just want you to have the same eagerness. Again, you can't put eagerness into a contract. You can't contractually obligate someone to be eager.
Oh, they can.
Yeah, how? How?
No, they can, but they're going to.
How?
Because they love.
What would you say? You have to be eager is not something that it's not black and white. Like eager, there are shades to, that's an emotion. Eagerness is an emotion.
It is, but again, these two love the business. They love signing papers and adding things to a prenup.
I'm just saying, I think Bilal went along with it, with this whole, sure, we'll put it in the prenup.
Because it's BS?
Because it's ridiculous. That's
probably true.
Sure, put it in.
That's probably
true. You put it in. There's no way to uphold this. There's no way to prove eagerness. There's no eagerness meter. You can't say, well, you weren't eager on Saturday, right? Like, so this contract's null and void. You were supposed to be eager. You weren't eager. Okay? It's just it's ridiculous. So Bilal's going along with it, and Shaeeda's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. This is great.
Well, what I thought was kind of ridiculous was when he said, I'll invest in your studio and we don't even have to put it in the prenup, which means if something happens, it's going to be yours. And Shaeeda goes like, oh my gosh.
Right.
I'm like, really? That's literally the opposite you want to have. If you want to have something of your own, put that shit in the prenup.
She's getting played. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's getting played by Bilal. She's getting played by mom, and she's getting played by Bilal's ex-wife.
But it's on her. Honestly,
it is on her. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for her whatsoever. She's a willing participant in this. I just think, run as fast as you can.
Yes, and again, it's if she wasn't in the same religion and she was just trying to stay with Bilal, try to make it, I would be like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on here, but this is not going to work. But again, I think if people are on the same page, when it comes to religion, other things will come secondary and you will overlook a lot of things. At least this is what it seems like.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
My opinion, guys. My opinion.
Yeah.
Colin.
Completely. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Patrick and Thais.
All right.
10 days to wed. Thais is packing, but not to go back to Brazil.
Right? That was a tease.
No, I thought they were. I actually thought they were flying to Orlando for the wedding.
I was kind of thinking, like, is she leaving?
No,
Is it over?
No, come on. But here's what's upsetting me in this segment. Thais going, once again, Patrick booked a trip without consulting me. He took control. It's not like he booked a vacation. He didn't book an all-inclusive resort without showing you the TripAdvisor reviews. He's taking you to meet his family.
And I'm pretty sure he was like, babe, we're going to go up to Massachusetts. I want you to meet my family. I'm going to book the tickets.
Even if he didn't, it's completely reasonable to be like, hey, my mom is sick. She can't make it to Orlando. Mm-hmm. So I booked us tickets so you can meet her before the wedding. It's completely reasonable for a husband to want his wife to meet his mom. And so for her to be like, he's controlling, he booked this without telling me. It's like, he didn't book a trip to Hawaii without asking you if you wanted to go. He's saying, hey, we're going to go meet my family.
If you ever want to book a trip to Hawaii without asking me, like, go for it.
It's true, exactly. But if I was just like, hey, guess what? Today we're going to go meet my family. If you were like, no, I would say, well, then we're not getting married.
Well, I would want a little bit of a heads up.
A little bit of heads up, but I'm saying I shouldn't have to ask you if you want to meet my family. If we're getting married, you should meet my family.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
No, I agree. But, okay. They're leaving. John's taking care of the dog.
Good luck.
But then they said they're flying to Massachusetts and then straight to Florida.
Yeah.
John's going to come to Florida.
He may not, but maybe they just don't want to
You don't think John would come for a wedding?
No, I do, but I'm saying, let's say he does. Well, now they only have to board the dog for a week instead of 2 weeks.
Sure.
So I just think.
You think John will board the dog?
No, I don't think the dog's going to survive. I don't think the dog's going to survive the week with John. But I'm saying if he does, if the dog makes it, it'll be boarded.
He'll probably cook it accidentally.
Like
a little dog.
Now you're going to make little dog jokes? I made one little dog joke at the top of the show and you freaked out.
A little hot dog.
Terrible. Terrible, Teresa. Okay. They get to Boston and I... Honestly, as much as we've debated and asked questions and posed concerns throughout this entire episode, I only have one real question. Mm-hmm. Is Tiffany's husband left or right-handed? I'm serious. And I'm going to play detective here because
I think he's left-handed.
Exactly. Because I'm left-handed. Very few people are left-handed. I don't know the percentage, but very few people are left-handed. That black eye was on her right eye. Mm-hmm. If you're right-handed, there's no way to really do that.
No.
So I think we can all admit.
Unless you don't do jab, you do cross.
But if you crossed, you'd still hit the left eye with your right hand. You'd have to do some weird hook.
Unless she turns.
True.
I don't know.
She's got a mean bob and weave.
That was a fucking black eye. Like, black eye
no
from
one's
a
denying
punch.
No one's denying it was a black eye. Of course it was a black eye. She didn't fall on ice.
No.
You didn't chip a tooth when you fell on that ice, right? All you have is that perfect black eye. I don't mean to make a joke out of it because I think this is clearly a sign
I could not watch it. I could not watch the eye.
This is clearly a sign of domestic abuse or some physical altercation. So I don't mean to make a joke out of
Wouldn't
it.
you think that the producers, if that was the case, I don't think they would put her on TV.
No, she told that story to the producers.
Yes, that's BS.
My biggest surprise is she would want to go on TV.
I know.
With that. There were so many other excuses you could make, or you even said in passing, you were like, I'm surprised she didn't put an eye patch on.
Or put big sunglasses and say, oh my gosh, I have an eye infection. I'm sorry, guys. Like,
right. Yeah, Angela wore a mask for half a season and it wasn't COVID. Yeah. I think she had like a tooth missing or something.
Yeah. No, I think it's just like some infection. But anyways.
Yeah.
No,
it's very concerning.
I could not watch it.
Well, it's because it wasn't the black eye for you. It was all the burst blood vessels in her eye.
I have an issue with eyes. do wear contact lenses, so I do touch my eyeballs daily, twice. But I'm okay with doing it myself, but I cannot watch anyone even putting contacts in. I get nauseous. I hate it. I hate going to an eye doctor. I have to have a good eye doctor that I trust to touch my eyes or to do anything with my eyes.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it. Once I threw up in school because we're watching this old freaking Czech movie that was made in the 30s or 40s. And there was this one scene. It was this like weird movie. It was part of the curriculum, blah, 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 blah. They took a string and they cut the eye in half. I literally puked on the ground in the classroom. I just could not take it. I had
there
to
needs
go.
to be a warning.
My parents had to like come and pick me up. I was like so out of it. Everyone was like, ew, Teresa. I couldn't. It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ew.
Anyway.
So I could not watch Tiffany.
Anyways, yes, I just felt like someone should check on her, do a little wellness check, please, for her sake.
I mean, I would think if it was a domestic abuse that Patrick would do something or say something to her, like, dude, don't go on TV if you have guys are having issues. But it seems like everyone believed her story.
Here's the only good thing, because a lot of things don't get addressed on these reality shows. At least the producer said, so you went to UFC or something? Were you grappling? What happened? And she was able to address the situation, so we weren't all just wondering. But
yeah.
I'm not,
Like,
I'm
honestly,
not buying it.
I want to believe that it's
I know.
nothing, because she was on TV, and it's not like, oh, she was on TV by herself talking about Patrick. She was hanging out with everyone. Like, if it was concerning, I would hope that her brother or her mother or her friend would not just roll with this whole thing.
All I'm saying is I grew up in New England. I've slipped on ice a ton of times. I've never landed on one eye.
Because you always land on your back.
I've landed on my front
You
sometimes.
did?
Sure, depending on if it's a hill or whatnot. But you'll break your wrists. You're not going to just land on your eye.
So that's a great point, because you do have reflexes.
Yeah.
When you fall.
Unless she was wasted, which is possible.
She's a fucking mom of a tiny child. I don't think she was wasted.
No, exactly.
She doesn't look like someone who goes
a bottle of white wine.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
No.
You're going to say moms don't drink?
No.
Teresa, call in once we have our first child and tell me you've stopped drinking.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to be drinking. But I don't think moms go to bars and then slipping on ice at 1 a.m. falling down.
Yeah, you never been to Southie, Boston. Teresa, you never been to Southie.
We just came back from Boston.
We went in Southie.
So what's Southie?
That's how we get down. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, you ever watch Go Will Hunting?
No.
You ever see Mark the Shark out on the night? Moving on.
Okay.
Mother Paula talking with Thais, wondering, is your family happy you're getting married? And this whole segment was a little difficult for me to react to, because on one hand I'm going, oh, Thais is maybe trying to play nice, or maybe she's being shy. But then the other hand is like, her English just isn't there to be able to fully express herself. So she's kind of probably just closing up a little bit.
Yes, but she understands. And I think her telling mom that, yes, is her knowing that mom's going to die soon.
Right.
And she can at least die thinking, my son is marrying the love of his life and everyone's happy for him. Meanwhile, Patrick, being very honest,
I know.
that's not the case.
My first thought was yours too, of like, like she's just trying to provide peace of, her son, everyone's happy. But Patrick's like, nah, her dad isn't. Her dad's not happy at all. And so then Thais is like, okay, yeah, he does wish I found someone in my city so I wasn't that far away. And Paul is like, well, didn't happen that way. You guys fell in love. Hot goes where it goes. The hot goes where it goes.
Which is true. It's true. I think that's probably the only thing I agree that she said.
It's funny because there was moments where I was like, wow, she's making a lot of sense. And then other moments where I was like, I don't know if we should be saying things like this, but
I mean, she says what's on her mind, apparently. She always has.
She sure does. She sure does.
Her Boston accent is out of control. Or her
Loved
Massachusetts accent, whatever
That's
you call it.
Boston. It's only Boston that has
So
that accent.
heavy.
Yeah. So new day. Thais is going dress shopping with Sister Tiffany.
I can't.
And Thais is like, I'm not the type of person who thinks about dresses a lot, but I appreciate the gesture. Tiffany's taking me out, so I'm happy she's supportive of this wedding.
Yes, she was going for something simple to show off her body. And I really liked what she picked. That was nice.
Yeah. Mercedes, the sales associate, was the MVP of this episode because I just loved how Thais went in and was like, yeah, the wedding, 2/22/22. I know it's ridiculous, but it's Patrick. You know him. And she's like, probably not enough time to really do this. And Mercedes is like, no. Wedding's coming quick, but I got a seamstress downstairs. We're going to get you in. We're going to get you out. We're going to get you tailored out the door today.
Let's not forget that she was just the sales associate. The owner was just sitting next to her smiling.
Wanted that TV time.
Wanted to be on
just
TV.
wanted
exactly.
that TV time, yes.
Oh, yeah.
But Mercedes is bringing the champagne. It was great.
You think Mercedes is her real name?
Yes, Mercedes is a name.
Really?
Absolutely.
Like after the car?
Couldn't afford the car, named my daughter Alexis. Shout out to Kanye. That's one of my favorite Kanye lines.
Is that a Kanye line?
Yeah, I
That's
couldn't
good.
afford the car. I named my daughter Alexis.
I love that.
Great. What a poet. So then Tiffany is like, okay, let me ask some questions here. As the big sister, I need to know, what do you love about my brother? And Thais goes, well, he has a big heart. Yeah, I love him. That's why I'm here. And that's where I'm going, like, is it her English or is she just not trying to get into things? Or like, what's going on here?
I think it's the whole issue about her saying he's different than he was in Brazil, and I'm not sure if I want to marry him, but also I'm not sure if I should share with his sister. As nice and banged up as she seems,
Jeez.
I might not necessarily go deep.
Keep asking those questions. You can have two black guys, Tiffany. Okay, you hear what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I just think that she doesn't want to get into details, and she loves Patrick, but if she really is this unhappy with him, saying he controls her, blah, 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 it's hard to whip out lies about what you love about someone if you're not happy with someone.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
It does. I just think, again, she doesn't have the command of the English language to do the fancy footwork to say what most people would say in uncomfortable situations and make it make sense. So she's just like, yeah, I love him. Like,
Yeah, but she could have said, he has a big heart, I love him. Not like, he has a big heart, I love him. Like, that was her trying to figure out, should I spill the beans or should I say?
Right, she could have been more confident in her just, I love him. Right, yeah. All right, so then we get to nighttime where Patrick and Thais are meeting up with Paula and Tiffany for some dinner and some more hard questions.
Alicia.
Yeah, what was Alicia doing there?
Alicia was a family friend.
Alicia, I think it was spelled Alisha. Alicia.
Something like that.
Which is fancy. Yeah, Alicia was there. So Tiffany is like, are you homesick, Thais? How are you feeling being here in the States? And Thais says, I am. I miss my friends and my family back home. And this is where Tiffany tells the camera, I can't really get a read on Thais because she's very vague with her answers.
Well, I think it's her English too. Like
That's what I'm saying.
No, it is.
She can't go on. She can't elaborate too much.
No.
So
But I think it's that. But it's also her being unsure of what she wants.
Unsure, or as Mother Paula sees it, maybe not mature enough.
And Tiffany said it too. Tiffany says that she doesn't think she's mature enough to move to the U.S.
Uh-huh.
She moved already, Tiffany. Okay.
Well, according to Thais, if you asked her, she was just here maybe on vacation.
True.
That's what she told her dad.
But then mom is like, are you mature enough to be able to live here, be with Patrick,
I
and
love
have
your
a family?
Boston accent's the same as your Georgia accent's the same as your...
Is it?
Yeah.
You do it.
Well, what do you want me to say?
Say, mom said, are you mature enough to be able to live here, be with Patrick and have a family? And have a family.
Thais, I know you left Mexico or Brazil or whatever.
It's one country.
Whatever, it's the same. It's all the same thing. You're not from Boston, so wherever you came from, you're mature enough to stay here, you got to go back and have your tortillas or whatever spicy foods you guys eat from wherever you're from. Well, I don't care. I honestly don't.
It's so good.
Talk about not having a great command of the English language. I feel like Mother Paul is like trying to be nice and kind of like sugarcoat things, but she doesn't have the command of the language. So she's like, Brazil's got family, but also not a lot of economic promises. I'm like, what economic promises? What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's like, how do you know, Paula?
Yeah, you just thought we were pesos. You thought we were dealing in pesos now.
She's like, Brazilian food. You don't like spicy? And Thais is like,
Mom, you're thinking about on the border Taco Bell, your favorite restaurants. It's not that. You ever been to Fogo de Chao? That's what we're talking. Fogo de Chao, okay? It's different.
That's not Brazilian.
It's Brazilian steakhouse.
Oh shit, I love that. But she's like, no, that's Mexican. And Paula's like, it's all one country.
Yeah.
you eat Mexican food in Brazil?
Oh man. The whole thing I felt bad, even though like whatever, say what you want. It was still 3-on-1, 4-on-1. It was everyone versus Thais. And I felt bad.
I did too. And then Mom, another bomb. She's like, you cannot run away with our baby. I'll follow you. My grandchild will live in America. Oh, come on.
Definitely not Mexico.
I wish there was like an eagle flying around. That would be beautiful.
Yeah, with a American flag cape.
I think like 2 eagles holding the flag in between.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's
very,
beautiful.
very American.
Yeah. And then Paula tells the camera, I don't think Thais wants to marry Patrick. She just doesn't want to make things bad with Patty Boy. And I know because I've been married 4 times before. Believe it or not, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times the charm. No, 4 times. 4 times the charm.
No, she goes like, no, go 4 times. Whatever that means.
Poor Paula. We hope Paula's doing okay. Seems like we hope she's okay.
She had less than 1 year to live, so.
We hope she's doing okay. All right. Okay, let's talk about Eve and Mohamed. 37 days to wed. Mohamed is home. A little nervous about how things are going because of Eve's inappropriate friends, as he says, and the strange fire ceremony. Also, as he says. So he FaceTimes Mom and Grandma back home. And the thing I was most surprised about was how much they knew about his life in America. Because they're asking, how's Eve? How's Theron? Like, they knew about all that. And I kind of thought Mohamed just ditched them and hasn't called since.
No, if you're close with your mom, as he states he is, you must talk to her. But okay,
must talk to her.
You must tell your mom. But okay, I don't know why I just thought of it this episode, and I probably thought of it before, but it's because Eve doesn't look her age. Like, Eve looks really good, right? She looks young. She's nice skin.
Looks older than him.
Well, yes. But I always forget that she's 48 and he's 25. He's not 35. He's not 40. He's not someone who's done a few things, right? He's 25.
He's a mama's boy.
And let's think about it, right? 25. I was partying hard and then I met you. Exactly. I went from that to a loving relationship. Eve's done all of that. She has a child, right? She's 48. In 10 years, she'll be almost 60, right? He's going to be 35.
In 10 years, she'll be almost 60?
Yeah. She's 48. In 10 years, it's going to be 58. That's almost 60.
I actually thought she was older. Okay.
So he's going to be 35, right?
Yeah.
We just went to a wedding and our friend, how old is he? 37?
Yeah.
Right? And just got married for the first time.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to have a family and all that. At 35, Mohamed would want that. I'm pretty sure he would be like, oh my gosh, like, I want to have a kid. I want to have all that. I'm still young enough. She's going to be close to her retirement, very close to her retirement. How is that going to work?
I'm not sure I follow you because he's getting married now.
Yes, he is.
So that's happening now.
Yes,
not in
but
10
I feel
years.
like he's so young And I know we've
Yeah,
seen
but
it.
then, no. My friend got married late.
You think so?
Yeah, 37.
I don't know.
That's late.
Okay.
So I don't think I follow your logic there. I think Mohamed's on track, 25, getting married, and I think Eve is late to the game, getting married
What
at
I was
48.
trying to say is that at 35, let's say in 10 years, or 37, 12 years, right? You still have your whole life ahead of you. You're still very young. She's gonna be 60, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying there is a huge age difference for someone like Mohamed, who is all about the traditions and all that. He would want to have a child.
Sure.
So how is that gonna work? And this is not just
They could have a child now.
they
Maybe.
cannot.
Maybe.
I don't think they can.
I could maybe, potentially. Maybe.
Well, yeah.
Maybe.
But I'm not saying this just about Eve and Mohamed, but all these older ladies with the very, very young guys.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if this is the first time you've ever watched 90 Day Fiancé.
No, but it
when you seem
hits me.
surprised by
No,
like
but it
age
hits me.
discrepancies. And,
It hits me every single time.
okay. All right.
So for some reason it hit me on this episode.
Well, welcome to season 9 of 90 Day Fiancé, Teresa. It's good to have you here.
I don't think you follow my logic.
There's age gaps. Yes. So we've been talking about since episode 1 with these two.
Crazy age gaps.
Yes.
Crazy age gaps.
Yes.
All I'm thinking is like, how do these ladies think this is going to end up? Let's say everything works out great and they have a great love. What if the guy wants to have a kid and have a family and he wants to go bungee jumping, but you're waiting for a second hip replacement? How is that going to work?
I don't know. Stay tuned to Happily Ever After. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy this franchise. You'll really enjoy this franchise. I promise you, Teresa.
You know, okay.
Let's talk about the real surprise, the real shocker of this segment was when he talks to his mom and his mom sides with Eve. Mohamed can't believe it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I kind of can't believe it. And I could be wrong, but if he had talked to his dad, if he had talked to a male, I think he would have gotten a different answer. Because
Yes.
the question was, should I force my traditions on Eve? Basically, and mom was like, no, don't. You actually should be the one to adapt because you're not in Egypt anymore. You should adapt to the environment you're in.
You know why mom said it? Because she doesn't want him to come back home because she can finally chill and doesn't have to take care of him. She can just sit on her badass couch and just do whatever she's doing.
Well, here's my uneducated thought, and I could be ignorant. I'm not Muslim, but I have to imagine a woman may want some freedom, right? Mom is in a culture where she is subservient. She has to submit. And maybe, even though that is the religion and that's how she was raised, there must be a piece of her that's like, oh, I wish I could be in charge sometimes. And so now she hears her son asking, should I make Eve submit to me? And mom's probably like, no. Let Eve have a little control once in a while.
Well, I also think that mom is not dumb and she knows that that's the life maybe she wants for him. And she knows that if he keeps pushing things on her, that's not going to work out.
Yeah. No, I think it's good advice. And surprise, surprise, Mohamed takes this advice.
Like, if you remember, Azan's parents loved Nicole for whatever reason, right? Mm-hmm. And it was also a very different culture. Nicole was inappropriate. She did questionable things, but the family still loved her and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a whole other
Yeah.
bag of issues. But okay, let's talk about New Night, 23 Days to Wed. This segment or this couple is on such a different timeline than
What do you mean?
23 Days to Wed.
Oh,
we've already
I
had
missed
one
that.
wedding.
Yeah.
We're 5 days to wed and another.
Well, they were
couples.
looking like, so I literally thought that Mohammed's going to pack his bags and leave.
I know.
Instead, there is a little date night and Mohammed's like, I don't agree with my mom, but I respect her. So instead of just asking for a green card, he asked Eve for a date night.
Yeah, and they head to this restaurant for a romantic dinner. And Eve brings up how she hasn't been feeling supported as much recently and wonders, can Mohamed handle how different things are? And Mohamed's like, yeah, in the U.S., everyone's different. Everyone practices what they want, right? This guy, he's getting a bald eagle tattooed on his arm as we speak right now. He is subscribing.
He should have called his mom way earlier.
And he's like, my mom helped me open my eyes to the idea of compromise. And so all of a sudden they're having dinner and Mohamed goes, there's a beautiful view here. I want to show you. And they get
How
up.
does he know?
Right. They get up and they walk outside where there's a bunch of fire pits, ready for any fire ceremony you could ever want. And Mohamed goes, actually, let me have a kiss. And he's like, I brought you here because I brought flowers for you. And Eve turns to look at the flowers. And before she can even reach down to pick them up, he's like, so will you marry me, babe? It's like, wait, what? Out of the blue.
I loved it.
Out of nowhere. And he was like, oh my God, are you serious? Oh my God.
She's like, babe, oh my God.
He's down on one knee with a ring. And she's like, of course, you're the love of my life.
Aren't you engaged?
So, did you see the finger?
What finger? There was a ring on her finger.
There was
right?
already a ring on her ring finger.
I think that's the ring she bought.
Stacks on stacks of rings. There's now 2 engagement rings on that finger. They kiss, and you say what you want about how you don't see the age difference when you look at them because Eve looks great. But when they were kissing, to me, it was like all those articles you read about teachers banging their students. She looked like some high school science teacher hooking up with her student.
I mean, yes, she's older. All I'm saying is that she looks great for her age.
She does.
But my whole age point was, I don't judge it, absolutely not. But when I was 25, I was like, before I met you, I'm like, I don't need to have kids. I'm just going to YOLO party until I'm 35, then I'll figure shit out, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about kids. Now I'm in my 30s and I'm married. And it is something, we're thinking about or talking about. He's very young, right? He can say, I don't want kids right now. Let's just enjoy our lives so you can take care of me. And I'm just going to be living in your house and play with Taryn and do my own thing. My whole point was that in 10 years, he's going to have a very different opinion. But in 10 years, it's going to be very late.
Teresa, let me explain 90 Day Fiancé to you again.
No,
I don't think you do, because 2 episodes ago, Mohamed was calling Eve his sponsor. I don't think he plans to be around in 10 years. I think he's going to get that green card and go,
yeah.
Okay?
He's going to be the classic Mo.
Okay? Yes.
I think he's going to be classic
So
Mo.
I don't think he's going to worry about Eve's age in 10 years.
I guess.
Okay?
I guess.
It's a sponsor situation. It's not a love. It's not love and marriage. Okay?
I guess.
All right.
But why would you go through all this?
Okay, Teresa? It's called 90 Day Fiancé.
I know. Listen, I love the show. I'm happy he's doing it, but I'm just thinking out loud. I'm like, all right, we all see you on TV. You were going for the sponsor. So now you're trying to fix it so you actually do get to the altar. You do get the green card. What's going on?
1 marriage, 2 marriage, 3 marriage is the charm. Nope. 4 marriage. It's not just 1 marriage and you're done, Teresa. 1 marriage is for the green card. The next marriage is for love. It goes on and on.
What's the 3rd and 4th for?
You'll have to ask Paula.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, let's wrap this thing up. Jibri and Miona, real quick. 3 days to wed. They're heading out. They're packing the car. They're going to go to Joshua Tree. And the only thing I have to say about this segment really is...
The jackets?
No, I'm not even going to mention the jackets. You can probably find them on Poshmark right now for $29.99. The only thing I will say is Jibri showed me in this one scene, he cares more about fame, he cares more about clout than music. He wants to say, I'm this musician, I'm this artist. You're trying to balance 3 boxes of sneakers while carrying an acoustic guitar that is not even in a case, and then you throw it in your trunk with all of your luggage unprotected. No respectable musician would do that. No respectable musician would do that with their instrument.
I didn't even see the guitar. Didn't even see the guitar.
You're not a musician.
I am. Haven't you experienced my flute?
Go back 3 episodes to our Czech recording.
I played This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My Land.
On the recorder.
Yeah, on the flute.
On the what do you call it?
We call it flat now.
The horizontal flute. Everything is the flute in Czech. Skin flute, horizontal flute.
No. It's the flute.
Yeah.
Then you have the out flute. That's the big one that I tried, but I didn't really remember. Yeah. And then you have the diagonal flute.
Yes. How could I forget?
Oh, the side flute.
All I'm going to say is Space Cash wears a helmet at all times, and Jibri can't even put his guitar in a case.
That's a good point. I missed that.
Okay, so protect your guitar.
Look at you.
Protect your guitar, musicians.
So detail-oriented.
All right, so then he says goodbye to his parents. Miona thanks them thank you guys for having us, for putting us up. Like, she really is sweeter than I expected her to be.
She is nice. I think her whole spiel was that I do not want to live in your parents' house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And so she's getting her wish. They're leaving. Jibri secretly hopes his parents surprise him at Joshua Tree. Which they may. It would make for good TV.
We'll see.
It would make good for TV. But Mahala's on this whole trying to teach Jibri a lesson with he acts impulsively, and when we act impulsive, there's consequences, and us not going to the wedding is a painful consequence.
I have a question, right?
Sure.
They're saying, we're going to have a Joshua Tree wedding and all that, right? Joshua Tree is gorgeous. I've been there. I've camped there. It's a cool park. You can do a little hiking if it's not too hot. Awesome. It must be beautiful in photos. I actually have seen some stock wedding photos from Joshua Tree. They said, we're staying at the rental home that also be the wedding venue.
There's homes in Joshua Tree, I'm sure.
Like inside?
Totally.
They must be so expensive. There must be.
I mean, there's homes in every park we've been to.
What's the actress name? She was in Camp Rock.
You lost me.
You've never watched Camp Rock?
Isn't that where Emily and Kobe went that one afternoon? Camp Rock?
No, it's with the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, I'm thinking Rock City.
Yes, very different. Demi Lovato. She rented a house in Joshua Tree. It looked badass, but I feel like that's like a $1 million a month kind of house. So these two broke asses, how are they going to afford?
Let's see you broke asses who couldn't get out of your parents' house till however many days to wed.
I want to see that. I want to see the house.
Let's see. That's it. Anything else for this episode?
I've said way too much.
Guys, make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening right now. It's so easy to do. You look down, you smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as hopefully the Joshua Tree house.
Hopefully. Guys, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. There's a lot we asked you to call in about, so let us know. Slide into those DMs. Teresa is manning the DMs over at Married to Reality Pod. She's also taken over the reins on Patreon.
Apparently, because
you heard it first.
You're too scared.
I'm too. Patreon.com/married to reality. Join for Seeking Sister Wife. Join to vote on what we cover next. It's all happening on patreon.com/married to reality. And thank you, Dee, for the review. Nurse Deezy, a beautiful review. I hope my voice was as soothing as you expected it to be. And that's it. I've said it all. Have you said it all?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Said it all.
Thank you. We will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.